Did you know 10 drugs alone bring in over $100 billion a year, and that's just from a handful of companies? 90% of people in the US use prescription drugs, but pharma spends more on marketing than on research. So the real question is, how do these pharma giants make their billions? It comes down to four big revenue streams. Prescription drugs, the real cash cow. A single cancer pill can cost $10,000 a month. OTC products, think Tylenol, Advil, vitamins. High sales but small profits. Biologics and gene therapies, super advanced drugs, some cost over $2 million per patient. Generics and emerging markets, lower margins but a volume game in countries like India and Brazil. The US is just 4% of world's population but makes up half of global drug sales. That's how powerful pricing is. Top 10 pharma companies with strategy angle. GlaxoSmithKline, big on vaccines. They supply vaccines to 160 plus countries. Smart move, right? Government contracts guarantee long-term income. Bristol Myers Squibb, their cancer drug Opdivo alone makes $9 billion a year, dominates cancer drugs. They price treatments at $100,000 a year because life is priceless. Sanofi used to dominate diabetes but lost ground to new players like Novo Nordisk. Strong in rare diseases, these orphan drugs can cost $300,000 per patient, but government subsidize them. ABBY, Humira, their autoimmune drug, was once the best-selling drug in history, $200 billion in lifetime sales. They filed over 100 patents on it to block generics as long as possible. Novartis, strong in cancer, plus generics through Sandoz. Smart bet on gene therapy, like Zolgensma, a one-time treatment price $2.1 million, making it the most expensive drug in the world. Merck & Co. Keytruda, a cancer therapy, brings in $25 billion annually, just one drug. Merck spends heavily on clinical trials to expand its use across multiple cancers in multiplying profits. Johnson & Johnson, the one company mixing pharma, consumer health and medical devices, balances pharma with consumer health, Band-Aid, Tylenol. Their diversification shields them from patent cliffs. Pfizer, COVID made them a household name, but before that, Viagra was the blockbuster. Roche, known as the Cancer King, oncology makes up 60% of its revenue. Pricing power is huge because lives are on the line. Eli Lilly, right now they are printing money with diabetes and obesity drugs like Monzaro are being positioned not just as treatment, but as lifestyle enhancers. That's recurring revenue for years. Crazy stat. The top 10 pharma companies together earn more than the GDP of 150 countries combined. So, which drugs brings in billions? Oncology, the number one category worth over $200 billion globally. Diabetes and obesity, exploding demand. Obesity drugs are projected to hit $100 billion by 2030. Autoimmune diseases, drugs for arthritis, Crohn's, psoriasis. Some cost $70,000 per patient per year. Vaccines, a $60 billion market post-COVID. Here's the shocking part. Just 20 drugs account for nearly 25% of global pharma revenue. And where do these billions come from? United States account for 45% to 50% of global pharma sales. Why? Higher drug prices. Europe, about 20 to 25%. Strict pricing but strong innovation hubs. Asia Pacific, fastest growth, especially China and India due to massive populations and rising incomes. China is now the second biggest drug market after the US. Latin America and Africa, smaller markets today but rising in generics. 9 out of top 10 best selling drugs don't cure diseases, they manage them. Why? Because repeat customers are more profitable than one time cures. The dark side of pharma. Here's the flip side nobody likes to talk about: patent games. Pharma companies often file dozens, even hundreds of patents on the same drug. The goal? Extend monopoly pricing for years beyond the original patent. Hamira is the poster child. It was shielded for nearly 2 decades from cheaper generics. Marketing more than research. Did you know? For every $1 spent on research, some giants spend up to $2 on marketing. From TV ads to doctors' incentive, selling often matters more than innovating. Price disparities. The same cancer drug that costs $10,000 a month in the US might sell for $1,500 in India. Why? Because American insurance companies and patents bear the brunt of global profits. The system is designed to maximize revenue, not necessarily access. So, where is the next $1 trillion coming from? AI in drug discovery. Algorithms can cut drug development timelines from 10 years down to 3 to 5. That means faster drugs and faster profits. Personalized medicine. Treatments designed for your DNA. Imagine cancer drugs tailored to your specific genetic profile. This could become mainstream by 2030. Biotech startups. Wall Street and Silicon Valley are pouring billions into biotech. Expect breakthroughs in CRISPR, synthetic biology, and gene editing. Lifestyle drugs. From anti-aging pills to brain enhancers, pharma wants to tap into the $1 trillion wellness economy. The big winners of the next decade won't just be traditional pharma giants, but also the disruptors who merge AI, genetics, and biotech into a new kind of medicine. So, now you know exactly how pharma giants make money. It's not the vitamins in your local stores, it's patented drugs sold at premium prices, especially in the US. Cancer and diabetes are their gold mines, and Asia is the next big battlefield. The future? Expect obesity drugs and gene therapies to create the next wave of pharma billionaires. If you find this breakdown useful, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and drop a comment. Which pharma company do you think will dominate the next decade? For a deeper dive into pharma market trends, forecasts, and regional splits, check out Mobility Foresight, link in the description.